Alright, it's Vex, and today we're going to talk about Commander Staples. That's right, if you haven't seen my original video, over here I had about 100 some staples, and this is the pile right there. 100 some staples that I used to build Commander decks with. Well, the game has changed. I'm adding almost 300 staples to my pile of staples. That is right. We are now quadrupling my Commander staple pile. So, this is about 100, probably over 100, 125 staples. That's right. These are, let's do a quick review, right? These are the new ones. And look at this. These are bigger than this already. Those are the new pile. Doing a quick review. If you haven't seen the video and are too lazy to see it, we had these staples essentially. If you see my videos, I've built like over 100 decks. It's easier to build decks when you have, a giant pile of staples to build decks with. And it's cool because you don't have to look around for these staples. You don't have to put them back. They're just in here, sleeved up, ready to go. I use the same sleeves for all my decks because of this purpose. I could just take these staples and use them at will. So these are strong cards in Commander. I have them sorted by Wooburg order. Colorless first, of course. Like Swords of Plowshares, a staple, Flawless Maneuver, free cards, Generous Gift, various protections, stuff like that. These are really good cards. Smothering Tithe, Glassbowl Mimic. I have a lot of the MDFCs here. Amphibian Mutineer, Last Top Plating. I also have the tokens. Always have your tokens. If something generates a token or has a token, I just have the token next to it. It's much easier that way. Seagate Restoration, Treasure Cruise, Shark Typhoon. I love this card. Lands. So this is a blue color identity, so I keep it with the blue cards. Delhi Rollock, some Kindred Discovery, Dominance, not Discovery. I love this card, super good. The black lands, I have a lot of black lands. Red, not too much. Vandal Blast, I have two of these because I just tired of the old border. I'll probably just get rid of the old border, put new border in. Jessica's Will. Then green is a lot because you get Secure Tribe Elder, Scavenging Ooze, Graveyard Hate, some ramp. Next pile here. More ramp, removal, more ramp, removal, ramp. The most amazing Great Henge. So you can see these really cool staple cards. Of course, Soul Ring's a staple. Solemn. Arcane Signet, so Mana Rocks. A bunch of Mana Rocks here. You see the Ozolith. Every time I do a +1/+1 counter deck, this is a staple. So it's not like generic good staple. Sometimes it's a staple in archetypes. If you do +1/+1 counters or counters, this is a staple in that archetype. You have Command Tower, World Tree. Lands. More lands. These are the Battle Bond lands. The snow-covered dual lands, the filter lands, I think, the MDFC lands, and generic lands like this, Royal Quarry Tower, Scavenger Grounds, Graveyard Hate, Evolving Wilds, War Room. So those are the previous set of staples. Let's put these aside, and let's go through my 300 new staples. I know, I might have to make this a two-parter. I probably will, who knows. Let's see how fast we can go through them. I've sorted these staples by color, multicolor artifact, and land. So check this out. This is Wooburg distribution of the staples. White, blue, black, red, green. Green has the thickest pile, of course, right? Next one is blue here. Then we have black. So, of course, right, the best color in Commander. The best color pair in Commander, Simic. The best three-color pair, this color, wherever it's called, Sultai, that's what it's called. The next worst color in Commander, white. And then what I consider the worst color in Commander, red. That's right. They have concentrated so heavily on white that red has just been left behind in the dust. White is actually really good. I think, green is by far the best. But these three colors are pretty close together. Red is just crap, I guess. We have colorless cards. These are really good colorless cards here. Not colorless, multicolored card. That's what I meant. Put in this pile. Then we have some artifacts. I know we have Soul Rings again because I build multiple decks. I need multiple Soul Rings. And then the land pile. So, remember, green is the thickest pile. Let's just put this right here for perspective, if I can even do that. That's green, right? The land pile. Boom. Lands are so important to this game that green is like maybe a third of the land pile. Isn't that crazy? So land pile is insane. Let's just go through these, starting with white, and then why I consider them a staple, real quick. I'm not gonna go in depth. If you want me to go in depth, I'll go in depth. I think what I'm gonna do is have a series each month of new staples that I'm adding to this pile, because I'm trying to keep the 2 staple piles separate so I can do a video about them. It took me forever, and I have 300 some staples afterwards. So these are the white cards. These are generically good white cards. Line Sash, good graveyard hate. Add a line, good go wide human support, which I love. Mentor Meek, Welcoming Vampire. I think they made a new one of these card drawing for little creatures inside Brothers War. Sun Titans, always good to get things back. Removal, along with swords, you got Path to Exile. Grand Crescendo, I love this card. Gives indestructible, makes tokens. And then I did miss some of the modal double face cards, but I feel like some of them are really good. Like Kabira Takedown, deal damage, or this could be a removal spell, or a land. Sabine's Reclamation, get things back from the graveyard. Chroma's Will, win the game or protect your board. Farewell, I think one of the best cards this year of white. Best white card? Probably, maybe. This is insane. Everybody should respect this card when playing a game. This card, I have brought me back from almost unwinnable positions because it has Exile Clause. It just takes care of whatever you need to take care of. It's amazing. And the fact that it doesn't have Planeswalkers doesn't matter, because Planeswalkers are so easily killed. Land tax here, Vanquish the Horde, more board wipe, cheap board wipe. White, ramp-ish. And then hate cards like Rest in Peace, Stony Silence. So these are only for the extreme measures where I have a deck that has no artifacts. I put Rest in Peace, or no graveyard synergies, Rest in Peace, no artifacts, Stony Silence. Castle Ardenvale, get some little dudes, and new channel lands. New channel lands have just really changed the game. It makes it amazing. So that is the white pile. The blue pile is pretty big here. Phantasmal Image. We have that copying things at cheap price. Copy Dockside, so a little higher powered copier. Snapcaster Mage. I don't really use Snapcaster Mage a lot, but I had an extra one, so I threw it in there. Snapcaster Mage is really good for flashing things back. Now this is insane. Archmage Emeritus. Whenever you cast or copy an instant sorcery, draw a card. It's insane. Displacer Kitten. Blink things, more insane. That's why they're in the pile, right? You have the 2 Spark Double Shakashima to copy legendary things without worrying about the legend rule. Consecrated Sphinx, card draw. Fact or Fiction, card draw. I like Resculpt here because you can exile artifact or creature. Importantly, artifact in blue, which is very rare. I can't believe they even added a color. Now, 4 of the 5 colors get to exile or destroy artifacts. Insane. And you make a 4/4 dude. Well, they make a 4/4 dude, or whoever does. It's not too bad. It's kind of like Pongify. They make a 3/3, 4/4. Some card draw effects. Brainstorm, Ponder. Speaking about Pondify, Rapid Hybridization. Your destroy, cheap blue removal. I know blue has the best cheap removal out there. Making a 3/3 is okay. It can hurt you in the end, but it's fine. Slip out the back. Blue protection spell. I love how blue can protect itself really well. Or you can just, phase something out. Like, say somebody's about to do a commander kill on you. You can phase it out. I know it comes back with a 1/1 counter, but whatever. It's a little protection. And some counter spells. Swan Song, Arcane Denial, counter spell. More removal. Curse of Swine. I swear blue has some good removal. It just turns things into, like, other things. Polymorph. Cyclonic Rift, the best removal. The best counter spell. Mana Drain. Reality Shift, more removal. Fierce Guardianship, more protection. So I do it in the mana value order, so I can find them easily in alpha order. Solve the Equation, Tutor. Blatant Thievery. I love stealing stuff from the opponents. The opponents get bitter. Extremely good. Midnight Clock. This is a very good mana rock. I was not including it in a lot of decks, but I think this is a really good mana rock because it can just refill your hand. Rhystic Study is Rhystic Study. And Otawara, a little channel land there. That's the blue pile. Black, not as big as blue, but still good. Graveyard Hate, more of an opportunist. Card draw, I don't have Midnight Reaper in this deck, and I need to put Midnight Reaper in the deck. In this pile, not deck. I guess you can shuffle it up and turn it to a deck, probably. Opposition Agent, it's very good. Ophiomancer, makes little dudes. Opposition Agent. Reanimate, right? So you can reanimate these big beaters. Razakath, Villas. I need to add, what's that? The one from Modern Horizons 2. Archon of Cruelty here. They have ways to skip death, feign death. This is a little bit better than giving it Undying because somehow it could have a +1/+1 counter and Undying doesn't work. This is a little better than Undying. Some tutors, Vampiric Tutor, I got Demonic Tutor right there. A little sack a creature, draw a card. Deadly Dispute, Village Rites. More removal, Internal Grasp. Knight's Whisper, Sign Blood right here, draw, along with Plumb the Forbidden. Player removal, Torment of Hellfire. Creature removal, Toxic Deluge along with Damnation. My favorite card advantage card, Siphon Mine. They each discard 1, which is 3 discarded, and you draw 3, 6 for 1 for 4 mana. It's extremely good. Meat Hook Massacre, good in Aristocrats. Good removal spell, or just a good, black enchantment that just does the Aristocrats thing. Black Market Connection, Phyrexian Arena, a little enchantment card draw. Black Market Connection is probably the best black card this year. When I say this year, 2022. Phyrexian Arena, they just have black lands, Cabal Coffers. I was not able to afford an extra one until Modern Horizons 2 came out to actually put in this pile. I had one, but it was in a deck. Phyrexian Arena, Takenuma, good for sacrifice. I'm always disappointed about red. Red just has very few staples because red cards are just not that great, to be honest. Stormkill Artist is insane in Storm decks. Atali, very good at stealing things. Faithless Looting, Spitefield Hazard. This is very niche, but I decided because a modal double face card included. Chaos Warp was not in my other pile, which is weird, very weird. This is a really ultra staple of decks that can't remove things very easily. Deflecting Swat, Mizzix Mastery for Spellslinger. This is for protection. Mana Geyser for big spells. Shikinta for first strike action. Sokenzun for little dudes. They get channel. The channel lands are insane. I put all channel lands in here because they're very good. Now to the green part. Green, super duper insane. Birds of Paradise, Ramp, Birds of Paradise, Finhorn Elves, Lawn War Elves, Bloom Tender. Then we have Caustic Caterpillar. I might replace it with Haywire Might from Brothers War because this, self-sacrifices. It sacrifices itself. But Haywire Might is an artifact that costs 1 generic, can be fetched out with Urza's Saga, which is also in the Staples pile over there. Then you have Artifact Hate. Then Modal Face cards. Let's actually get back to this Artifact Hate. Collector Oof. The reason I love Artifact Hate with Stony Silence Collector Oof is people are abusing treasures overly, too much. And we need to just give them a taste of their own medicine. So Artifact Hate is good. More Modal Face cards. Tangle Florhesion. Azusa, my girl. I love the deck with her, but she's also very good in 99. Playing extra lands, landfall deck, so she deserves a spot. I know I need to add more landfall cards in here. I know green needs more, right? Circle of Dreams Druid, little Gaia's Cradle on a stick. Eternal Witness. Some Ramp, Farhaven Elf. Tyler's Provisioner, so Tyler's Snacker. Topiary Stomper, more lands. Kind of like Farhaven Elf, Wood Elf, Yavimaya Dryad. All about getting lands. So it depends on what kind of green deck I want because permanent lands are better. Like if you get land ramp, it's better because it's more indestructible, I should say, than your creatures. But sometimes you want slower ramp, where Wood Elves is a creature and a land. It just costs a little more than just like a Nature's Lore or whatever. But sometimes you need that. Druid of Purification, one of the best artifact enchantment removal spells creatures out there. It's insane to blink. Very politicky, good card. Timeless Witness. That has a token, so don't forget about the tokens. I know some people do not make decks with tokens in mind, and it drives me nuts because they're using upside down cards for 5 different tokens. Decks nowadays have up to 5 to 20 different tokens, so it's hard to keep track of. That's why it's good to have tokens. Band of Progress, again, Artifact Enchantment Hate. A landfall card, Rampaging Baloth, Avenger Zendikar. I guess I do have some landfall cards, huh? Old Gnawbone, one of the best green creature dragon thingy-majigger out there. Terrestrodon, just in case you need to destroy things. They create 3 elephants, so I have 3 elephants. Woodfall Primus, destroy non-creature permanent, and has persist. Little tutors, so that's the creatures in green. Dear Lord. So green has the best creatures, obviously, so that's why it has a huge creature pile. Then we have our spells. We have some good spells. Green Sun Zenith, tutors. Rapid Vigor. I love this card next to Heroic Intervention. Depends on the texture of the deck. If I need another Heroic Intervention type card, Rapid Vigor is really good. Again, it doesn't work with Damnation or Wrath of God, such like that, because it regenerates, makes indestructible. Court of Calling, more tutoring. Kalani Ambush, little fight spell, land. Usually I use these as lands, but it's always good to have, extra value from your lands. I don't know why this wasn't in the original pile. Return of the Wild Speaker, Shamanic Revelation, draw some cards. Azuri's Predation, this is green removal. I know it's very rare to have green removal next to Beast Within, but this does do green removal, makes tokens. It's insane. And they've actually changed Oracle text. It does say green Phyrexian Beast, so you gotta get your Phyrexian Beast in there if that ever matters. Then some enchantments, Sylvan Library, Beastmaster Ascension, grow your team, Garden Project, more card draw, Zendikar Resurgent, more mana and card draw, and Boseiju, one of the best channel lands ever. Destroy some artifacts. All right, let us go to the multicolor. Now, this isn't a big pile because obviously they're not as generic because it takes a certain color combination to run these. But Jetmir, Nexus of Revels. I did do a Jetmir deck, but you know what? Jetmir is insane in the 99. You just play this in some random Naya deck that makes some amount of tokens. You'll get his first ability +1/+0, next ability with 6 creatures, and then sometimes you might get lucky and get the ninth ability. Third ability with 9 creatures. So it's actually a very good card. Like, definitely consider this card for your 99, along with Kenrith. He's a very popular commander, but he's also very good in 99. Those are creatures. Then you have some spells. Assassin's Trophy, very good. Boros Charm, good for protecting your stuff, making things indestructible, or giving things double strike. There's Dam, that also can't regenerate claws for Rapid Vigor, but it's a Wrath of God and a Doomblade on a single card. But you have to have Orzhov color identity to play it. Another charm, Rakdos Charm, Graveyard Hate, Artifact Hate, Mass Token Hate. Very good there. Anguish on Making, Void Ren, destroy things. Rhythm of the Wild. I know some people might like Fires of Yavimaya, but I love having the option of doing +1/+1 counter. I like doing that. Give non-tokens haste. Ruinous Ultimatum. This is insane. If you've ever played it or had it played against you, you know. Ultra staple in any deck that can support those 3 Mardu colors. Let's go to the artifacts here. So I used to do the creatures. We have 2 creatures, Walking Ballista and Ornithopter of Paradise. This is really good ramp. I know I had on artifacts, but really good ramp in like artifact-centric decks. And it's good for evasive threat if you suit up or something. It does have flying, so don't forget that. Some Soul Rings here. I should put some Arcane Signets in here. I forgot. Wayfarer's Bauble. So I love this ramp in non-green decks because it gets a land. Even though it costs 3 mana total, right there, it does get a land. Lands are less destructible than Wayfarer's Bauble. I feel like I've heard it somewhere where they say like mana rocks are like temporary because you're probably gonna get them destroyed because people are gunning for artifacts. And mostly in green, I only get land ramp unless there's reasons for other cards like Everflowing Chalice in my Atraxa deck because of the proliferate. Felwar Stone, I got 2 in the here for whatever reason. You have the discount mana rocks, Pro Medallion, Jet Medallion. I don't have the other medallions, which I'll add eventually. Liquid Metal Torque, I love this because you can make things artifacts and blow them up as if they're artifacts. Then you have Thought Vessel, Worn Power Stone. I don't use it that much unless I need to ramp really hard. Threaten Dynamo, I would use that before Worn Power Stone because it comes into play untapped. Chromatic Ori, usually in the 5-color decks, this is kind of like a 5-color card. I never played in a 4-color deck because it's just the opportunity cost is too high, I guess, because I want to draw. Because I'm greedy. I admit it. I'm greedy. I want to draw the most amount of cards. Then you have the rest of the Signets, some Talismans. I am missing some Talismans because I'm waiting for them to get reprinted, and they haven't, so that sucks. I love making full cycles. That's why I have some Signets. I even have the green Signets, which I'll never use a deck because it makes a full cycle. Did I put these in upside down? I did. It never makes a full cycle, so oh well. Expedition Map. You always have to pay attention nowadays to anything that costs 1 mana. 1 or 0 mana because of Urza Saga. Urza Saga has changed the game. Expedition Map can be found off Urza Saga to get your Cabal Coffers. Soken, Sensei's Divining Top, Skull Clamp, Soul Guide Lantern. I have 2 of these, Ultra Staple in every deck. Graveyard Hate. It doesn't hit your graveyard, which is important because every deck's a graveyard deck, even yours. This doesn't hit it. Dowsing Dagger. Good equipment that flips into a Lotus Veil. Add 3 mana of any color. Gives them creatures. Idol of Oblivion, sorry. This is good for token decks. If you make it token, tap, draw a card. Insane. And it does have a token that comes with it. Don't forget the token, because you can pay 8 sack it, make it 10/10. Now, this is a card I wish cost 1 to find off Urza's Saga, but it's not, for obvious reasons. Cost 2 to play, 1 to crack. Find Moonsilver Key is the name of it. Search your library for an artifact card with a mana ability or a basic land. It's very good. It can find your Chromatic Orrery. It can even find the Mightstone, Weakstone if you have an Urza deck. Then you have Sword of the Animus, some ramp. Usually you play it non-green or attacky decks. Vanquisher Banner, some tribal decks. So that's the artifact. So I think I have enough time to go through the lands. I went pretty fast. Let's do it all in one take. Here are the lands. Lands are huge, but they're basically cycles of lands, to tell you the truth. We have command towers, just in case we have multiple decks. Exotic Orchards, these are multicolor lands in 3 colors and 2 colors. And then utility lands. All single color lands are with their respective colors. Exotic Orchard, I play in 3+ color decks, guaranteed, because it's just so good. You're most likely going to have 2 or maybe 3 of the colors you want. Just be aware towards the end of the game when you have less opponents, this thing gets worse. But that's okay, you have more lands. Mana Confluence is extremely good. Path of Ancestry is, I think, one of the most underrated lands. You can play in 2 color decks, 1 color deck. Well, 1 color tribal decks. But 2 color decks is just ETB tapped dual land that can scry you. And same thing for 3 color decks, ETB tapped tri-land that also can give you tons of scry. Even if the only, nothing shares a creature type with your commander, it's still a scry when you play your commander. If you play multiple times, scry multiple times. Much better than regular tri-lands. I got a comment in my YouTube video about it, and I was like, man, my eyes didn't look at this correctly. It's just, I always looked at it as an ETB tap land, but it's just way more than that. Then we have the 10 Triomes, full art there. All gorgeous looking Triome thingy-majiggers. We did have the 5 Battle Bond lands, or Commander Legends lands. Now we have the original Battle Bond lands back in business right here. That cycle. We have a cycle of fetch lands. I was like, I use these fetch lands way too much, so we have the 10 fetch lands right there. We have the shock lands, the 10 shock lands. We have some buddy lands, 10 buddy lands. We have the pain lands, 10 pain lands. Yeah, the goal of all of this is just to be able to make most of a deck, because I like trying out lots of decks, and it takes time to fish out all these cards. So I just want to be able to take these cards, put them in a deck, then find the other remaining 40 cards. Just get the staples out of the way. Maybe this is maybe I could find 60 cards and get the rate. Did I just say? I said the same math, didn't I? Maybe I could find 70 cards or 75 cards to get the remaining 25. So it just makes deck building easier. Things go faster. The unfortunate part is when you're done with the deck, you have to take it and put it back in here. Or if you make 2 decks of the same color combination, you've taken Dothly Voidwalker, you don't have a second one. So that is unfortunate. That's why I'm trying to start putting duplicates in here, because if things are really, really stapley, kind of like Soul Ring, right? I just put multiple in here so I can just make multiple decks. Okay, back to the lands. Then we have the slow lands from Midnight Hunt, right there. We have the Horizon lands, minus Horizon Canopy, which I need to put in here. I wish they finished the cycle from Modern Horizons 1. We have more of the filter lands. I don't think I have all 10, which I got to check by putting our 2 things together. Then we have the snow lands. This finishes a cycle I have in the other set I originally had. We have the bounce lands, 10 bounce lands there. We have the cycle lands from Amonkhet. I wish they finished the cycle, but I only have 5 of those. Cinder Glade, I don't know what you call this. You have to have 2 basics, then it's come play on tap. I have never needed it for any other color combination other than red-green or maybe green-white because of the forest. So I only have that one. If I need others, I'll pull it from the binder and then put it in the staple pile. But I've never needed to pull it, so I didn't put it in the pile. Then I have a bunch of colorless lands. Ancient Tomb. They're all in alpha order, which I really like having it there. Fable Passes, more fetch lands, along with the Terramorphic Expanse Evolving Wilds. And then I have Prismatic Vista here. Field of Dead, the best land in Commander. Non-reserve list, of course, Gaea's Cradle is the best land, but this is the second best land. High Market, sack land. Homeward Path, I know people like to steal people's stuff, and they keep building more commanders to steal people's stuff. This is really good if you have room. Maze of Ith. Nykthos, big mana. Rogue's Passage for big attacking creatures, steal commander damage. Thespian Stage, I have 2 of these. This is an ultra staple. I love Thespian Stage and what it does. You can copy random cards. Somebody plays let's say a Gaea's Cradle, and you don't have one in your deck. I'll copy Gaea's Cradle, and I'll take me one of those. Urza Saga, as you remember, I discussed about 1-mana artifacts. Urza Saga is in here. Vault of the Archangel. I know this is a multicolor land, but I put it in here. I think I need to put like Ormondal in here too. This is really good. This is one of the utility lands I use a lot, so I have it in here. Vesuva, copy lands, my ultra staple. And then I have snow-covered lands. And this entire set of lands is to support 1 card. This is how powerful this card is. I got tired of pulling snow-covered lands, and I was like, okay, I got to put it into the deck. It's a staple. Snow-covered lands are staples because of Field of the Dead. All right, so those are my like 300 staples. Oh, before we forget, you can't have staples without staple tokens. That's right. Sometimes I get a new card from, like I said, Dominator United or Brothers War or Phyrexian, whatever it's called, Phyrexia, and I need a token with it. So I started this really late, like a month ago, is just collecting tokens that go in here. So if I need to match up with a token, I have them. Zombies, angels, soldiers, treasure, of course, copy tokens, monarch. So I have all the tokens I need. So I'm going to buff up this staple pile too as well. Anyways, those are my staples. If I'm missing anything, tell me. I know I'm missing some things. Like Dockside Extortionist should be in this staple pile. But I just don't have Dockside Extortionist. Oh, I have them, but I don't have an extra one to stick in this pile. I will have an extra one soon once I move things around. Take it out of a deck to put in this pile. So that'll come up in a couple videos. Essentially, what I want to do is just see if I can do a monthly video, because I don't want to do a giant video talking about 300 staples all at once. I want to do a more focused video talking about the new staples that are coming in and why I think they're staples. And I think that'd be really enjoyable. Tell me what your staples are in the comments below, and I might add them to my big pile of staples here. And also, if you want to argue with me, tell me that this card should never not exist in here. That's fine too. The comment section is there as long as you're constructive. It's all good. Anyways, what's all good is I'm going to put this back with my staples pile over there, and I hope you have a wonderful day. But before we have a wonderful day, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be alerted for new videos in the future, and I have all the cool links in the description below. Then, have a wonderful day.